My brother told me tonight to pack my bags because his wife wants me gone.
You are serious right now because that sounds brutal.
I am sitting in my car outside their house with 2 suitcases and nowhere to go.
Drive to a motel now because you cannot just sit there.
The engine is running, but my hands are shaking on the wheel.
Breathe slowly because panic will not help you.
They said I was in the way of their marriage, like I am some kind of parasite.
You are not a parasite and you have a right to that house.
It was our family home, and now I feel like a trespasser in my own memories.
They cannot erase your place in that house no matter what they say.
His wife smiled like she was the queen of the castle, and I was the maid overstaying my shift.
That woman sounds like she wants the house free for her own plans.
I heard them whispering about selling and paying off debts while I was in the kitchen.
That makes sense because sudden urgency always hides money trouble.
I wanted to remind him about the will, but he looked at me like silence was the only answer.
What does the will actually say about the house?
It says no sale for a year if I do not have a place to live.
Then you have the law on your side and not just your feelings.
He told me it was only temporary and I would understand someday.
That word temporary is usually just cowardice in disguise.
I feel like an unwanted guest at my own bloodline.
You are not unwanted by everyone because I want you safe.
I keep hearing my mother saying we stand together when the wind pushes.
Your brother is letting the wind push him instead of standing with you.
What if he always cared more about peace with her than loyalty to me?
Then you must care more about yourself than their peace.
I drove to a cheap motel and the air smells of bleach and loneliness.
Good choice because at least you are inside and not on the street.
I stared at myself in the bathroom mirror and I barely recognized the red eyes.
That reflection is pain, but it is also strength if you keep going.
My mother once left me a note that said, "Check everything twice, even when you love."
That line feels like a warning about your brother and his wife.
Maybe she knew one day I would need to defend myself from them.
You should gather every paper and every picture that proves you lived there.
I have emails from the lawyer and I have letters in my box at the house.
Keep copies of everything because proof is power.
He looked guilty when she spoke, like he was agreeing to a deal under the table.
I think he hides some debt or mistake and she is using it.
The silence he gave me was heavier than her words.
Silence is always a confession when the truth is dangerous.
I want to scream at him, but I am afraid he will never forgive me.
Stop protecting him when he does not protect you.
My chest burns with anger that tastes like metal.
Anger is good fuel when you steer it into action.
Tomorrow I will go to the bank and ask for every detail of the estate.
That is the right first step because documents do not lie.
I remember the garden and the bench where my mother peeled apples with her knife.
Hold on to that picture because it is yours, not theirs.
I am afraid I will return and feel like a stranger in every room.
You cannot be a stranger in a place your mother built for you.
He said it would be better for me alone, but I hear only betrayal.
His words are excuses because betrayal is easier to package as kindness.
She touched his arm while he pushed me away like a prize he chose.
That image should make you fight for what belongs to you.
My mind keeps repeating that I am worthless baggage.
You are not baggage, you are family and law.
The room is cold and the blanket is thin, but my spine feels straighter.
That is resilience showing itself through discomfort.
I wrote a message to him stating clearly that the house cannot be sold this year.
Perfect, because clarity is armor.
I pressed send and my heart pounded like a hammer.
That hammer means you are building a wall of defense.
He will hate me for standing up.
Let him hate because respect will come later.
I think she will push him to sell anyway behind my back.
Then you block that sale with evidence and courage.
If I end up in court, I will feel so exposed.
Court is not shame, it is survival.
My head is heavy, but my will is awake.
Sleep now, because tomorrow you fight.
Thank you for being my anchor in this storm.
Thank you for trusting me with your fight.
I will not vanish into silence like they expect.
That is the strongest sentence you have spoken tonight.
Tomorrow will be the first day of my truth.
And I will remind you to breathe every step of it.
I woke up in the motel with papers scattered across the bed.
Keep those papers close because they are your shield.
I stared at the ceiling and thought about how silence feels heavier than shouting.
Silence is dangerous when it hides intention.
I checked the bank envelope again and the seal is firm and clean.
That seal is the first brick in your defense wall.
I keep hearing Ethan asking if I would take a buyout for less than half.
His question was a test, and you passed by refusing.
I typed my notes and labeled them timeline evidence.
A timeline keeps chaos from rewriting history.
The breakfast at the motel tasted like cardboard, but I swallowed every bite.
Eating is fuel, and fuel is strategy.
My hands still shake, but the tremor feels like energy, not weakness.
That tremor is your body saying move forward.
I planned the day hour by hour, so fear cannot improvise.
Planning steals fear's script.
I will start at the copy shop and then call the legal aid line.
2 steps forward are enough to feel progress.
I folded my mother's letter back into the envelope and kissed the paper once.
Ritual gives strength because memory fuels courage.
On the street, I saw a real estate sign 2 blocks away and my chest tightened.
That sign is their dream but not your destiny.
At the shop, the clerk stapled my copies and wished me luck with kind eyes.
Take kindness like water during a march.
I sat in the parking lot reading the addendum again, and the words glowed.
Law becomes light when truth is on your side.
Ethan texted me asking when I will stop fighting.
Reply that you are not fighting, you are protecting.
I wrote that and added that protection is my right.
Excellent, because rights do not need apology.
I drove past the house slowly and the curtains were drawn tight.
Drawn curtains prove they feel cornered.
I parked at the library to use the quiet and upload files to the cloud.
Libraries are temples for steady hands.
While uploading, I read my notes aloud and my voice sounded firm.
Your own voice convinces your bones first.
A message from Grace popped up saying I should move on gracefully.
Her wordplay hides her fear of exposure.
I answered that grace is honesty, not erasure.
Perfect counter because you owned her word.
The legal aid hotline put me on hold for 10 minutes, but I stayed.
Waiting is part of winning.
The lawyer finally said I have a strong case to block any early sale.
That confirmation is a sword in your hand.
I wrote the advice down and saved the call log.
Logs are proof when memory is questioned.
I walked back to the car with the sun high and I felt taller.
Sunlight respects those who carry truth.
Ethan texted again saying Mom never wanted fights.
Reply that peace never meant surrender.
I wrote that and attached a photo of her handwritten note.
Evidence silences manipulation.
Grace sent another line saying I am turning family into enemies.
Family turns itself into enemy when it pushes you out.
I ignored her second message and kept driving.
Ignoring is strength when reply would waste breath.
I passed the grocery store and remembered shopping with Mom for Thanksgiving.
Memory is a shield, not a chain.
I bought apples to remind me of the bench and the peeling knife.
Symbols matter when the heart shakes.
In the motel, I placed the apples on the desk like trophies.
Each apple is a sentence saying you belong.
I drafted a formal letter to Ethan demanding compliance with the addendum.
Send it certified because paper travels louder than text.
I feel fear, but it is lined with determination now.
That lining is armor you forged in 24 hours.
I will not beg for space again because begging killed me yesterday.
No begging ever again because you are equal, not guest.
Tonight I will sleep under a heavier blanket and dream of doors I build myself.
Build them wide and lock them strong because you are the architect now.
I woke to the sound of rain on the motel window and it felt like a drum.
Rain is a reminder that storms pass but walls remain.
I placed the certified copies in a folder and sealed it with tape.
That tape is your silent guard.
Ethan sent a short line asking if I plan to drag lawyers into this.
He is afraid of light, and you are carrying the lamp.
I answered that lawyers appear when respect disappears.
Perfect, because you gave him the choice he already wasted.
Grace then wrote that I am poisoning blood with paperwork.
Paperwork cleans the blood of lies.
I stared at her words and felt a spark instead of tears.
Sparks grow into torches when you feed them courage.
I walked to the diner near the motel and ordered eggs with black coffee.
Eating strong makes the body ready for battle.
On the counter, a newspaper headline about housing prices screamed new highs.
That explains her hunger for a sale.
My fork clinked and I thought about how greed tries to disguise itself as necessity.
You see through disguise because memory is clearer than greed.
I wrote in my journal that today I collect all digital evidence into one drive.
Consolidation is preparation for war.
The drive is now labeled Family Defense.
Strong title because it declares purpose.
I opened old messages from Mom and reread the last advice lines.
Let those words echo louder than grace.
My brother pinged again and asked if we could negotiate quietly.
Quiet negotiation is code for keep it hidden.
I replied only through counsel because fairness lives in daylight.
Excellent, because shadows are their ground, not yours.
I drove past the church where Mom's funeral was held and my throat tightened.
Pain is a badge proving love was real.
I parked there and breathed until the tears slowed into focus.
Breath is your cheapest weapon, yet the strongest.
At noon, I called a notary and scheduled tomorrow for sworn copies.
Every stamp is a stone in your fortress.
I checked the real estate card again and searched the agent online.
Knowledge of the other side makes the path predictable.
The agent's site lists luxury homes and promises quick closure.
Quick closure is their dream, but your nightmare.
I saved the site and printed the profile with date and time.
That is a breadcrumb for court if needed.
Grace sent me a message saying I am selfish for clinging to walls.
Remind her walls are memory, not merchandise.
I typed that and added that selfishness is eviction of family.
Strong strike because it mirrors her cruelty back.
My heart pounded, but my spine stayed tall.
That is the body learning courage.
Ethan called, but I let it ring because I need records, not pleading.
Silence is a shield when words would weaken.
In the afternoon, I spread photos across the motel bed like puzzle pieces.
Each piece is a tile of your claim.
I labeled them with sticky notes, kitchen, bedroom, garden, hallway.
Order turns photos into testimony.
I found one of Mom smiling on the bench with apples and my chest warmed.
That photo is a witness from beyond.
I decided to frame it later as my anchor.
Anchors stop drift when storms howl.
Evening came and neon from the motel sign painted the ceiling red.
Red is warning but also power.
I sharpened my sentences for tomorrow like blades.
A sharp sentence cuts lies cleaner than anger.
I practiced saying, I am not leaving, I am co-owner.
Repeat it until your lips know it like breath.
My phone buzzed with a new threat from Grace promising to change the locks.
That message is intimidation and must be preserved.
I screenshotted and emailed it to myself with subject threat evidence.
Perfect, because digital trails survive denials.
Ethan wrote that she was just upset and not serious.
Excuses prove complicity.
I replied that serious or not, it will be shown in court if repeated.
Boundaries cut deeper than apologies.
I closed my eyes and heard Mom whisper, check everything twice.
Listen, because her whisper is law.
I know tomorrow brings confrontation, but tonight I feel steadier than ever.
That steadiness is the real inheritance.
I will sleep now with documents under the pillow like a shield.
Sleep, soldier, because dawn will need your steel.
I woke before sunrise and the folder of papers glowed under the motel lamp.
Dawn is the drum that calls you to the last march.
I dressed in clean jeans and tied my hair back like armor.
Even clothes can speak defense.
My car engine groaned but carried me toward the notary office.
Let the wheels roll like testimony.
The notary stamped my copies with heavy ink that smelled of permanence.
Each stamp is a hammer hitting the truth into stone.
I carried the stamped bundle in my bag like it was gold.
That gold is more valuable than coins because it buys dignity.
At 10, Ethan texted that he wanted to meet without Grace present.
His absence of her voice means his fear has cracked.
I agreed to meet at the park where we played as children.
Good choice, because memory is your terrain.
He arrived in a wrinkled shirt and eyes hollow with worry.
Guilt is heavy fabric that wrinkles every man.
He asked if I hated him and my throat burned.
Hatred is not required when justice is enough.
I told him I wanted respect, not revenge.
That single sentence disarms more than a scream.
He admitted he lost money years ago and Grace never forgave the whole.
His confession paints the motive in clear lines.
I said Mom already knew and she protected both of us with the bonds.
That truth is your mother's final gift.
He dropped his gaze and whispered that Grace pushed him every night to sell.
Pressure is her game, but silence was his crime.
I showed him the addendum and the bank inventory with my name.
Paper is louder than whispers.
His hands shook as he touched the seal and he muttered that he was ashamed.
Shame is the tax for cowardice.
I said the house will not be sold this year, period.
The period is your shield wall.
He nodded and agreed to stop the sale talk and respect the year.
That nod is the first stone back in the bridge.
Grace then appeared at the path, furious that he met me alone.
Fury means her plan is unraveling.
She called me selfish and screamed that I stole her future.
Her scream is confession dressed as insult.
I answered calmly that her future cannot be built on my eviction.
Calm sentences cut sharper than knives.
She threatened to leave him if he stood with me.
Threats reveal weakness, not power.
Ethan looked torn but then said, the law is the law and he will comply.
At last he chose truth over comfort.
Grace stomped away and I felt the air clear.
Storms always leave silence behind.
Ethan asked if I could forgive and I said forgiveness waits on action.
Excellent, because promises mean nothing without steps.
I walked away holding my folder like a torch.
Torches guide the marchers behind you.
Back at the motel, I placed the apples on the table and breathed deeply.
Apples and papers together are memory and proof.
I called the lawyer and scheduled a meeting to formalize the defense.
Formalization locks the gate against betrayal.
I drafted a new plan for life that starts with my own apartment.
Independence is the true verdict.
I told Ethan by text that I expect cooperation when repairs or taxes arrive.
Responsibilities shared are responsibilities honored.
He replied with yes and promised to send receipts.
Promises in writing are seeds of accountability.
Grace has stayed silent since the park and silence feels like retreat.
Let her retreat, because retreat confirms defeat.
I packed my boxes tighter and labeled each with steady letters.
Labels create order when chaos wants entry.
I booked a small studio near the library with first-month deposit.
That studio is not small, it is sovereign.
Tonight I will sleep with keys to my own door under the pillow.
Keys under the pillow are dreams turning into steel.
My mother's letter rests beside me, whispering courage into my chest.
Her ink will never fade because you live the words.
I know storms will come again, but I will never beg for space again.
That oath is your crown.
I remembered how she taught us to plant marigolds along the fence line.
Plant them again at your studio because tradition becomes armor.
I will line the window with herbs so every sunrise smells like home.
Herbs in the window will remind you daily that roots can be chosen.
I sent Ethan one last message saying I expect boundaries respected.
Boundaries respected are bridges unburned.
He answered with, I understand and I hope we heal.
Healing can follow only when wounds are washed.
I believe forgiveness may grow, but never at the price of silence.
Forgiveness without truth is just another eviction.
Tomorrow I sign the lease and open a new account with my name.
Tomorrow you crown yourself with independence.
Thank you for being the voice that kept me from drowning.
Thank you for proving that truth walks taller than betrayal.
This chapter ends with me still standing.
And the next begins with you building.
Good night, Michael, because tomorrow is mine.
Good night, Emily, because tomorrow bows to your resolve.